Hey guys, um, I am just doing a video response to one of the questions I was asked on my channel. I was asked by Sleepy Papaya how I managed raw food at school and with family. And yes, it can be very difficult to be a teenager and be on a raw foods diet. Um, Basically, what I wanted to say about this is at school, it's good to. I'm not sure if you're talking about social issues or just eating raw foods there. Um, so I'm gonna do both of my answers on that. Okay, so eating raw foods at school. Basically, you just need to. We eat lunch at school, so I don't know if y'all don't eat lunch at school, but um, when I eat lunch at school, I usually take something simple like avocado and tomatoes and maybe a little kale and just like make a little wrap out of that. And then I will take nuts and seeds if I'm like really hungry. Um, Also, I just really wouldn't take anything complex because usually I've found from my own personal experience that usually the more complex foods tend to get nasty if you leave them out too long. I usually like my more recipe type foods to be in the refrigerator. I don't know if that's the same with y'all. Uh, and dealing with being a raw foodist at school, if you have told people that you're a raw foodist or if they've just seen you eat raw foods, it's best to just, explain to them, like, I'm a raw foodist and this is how I eat, this is what I eat, and I do this because I think it's the healthiest you can eat, and I believe that it's right for my body. And if they have any questions, just answer their questions nicely and they'll be fine with it. And if they're not fine, then they, it doesn't matter because it's how you eat, and if how you eat is wrong to them, then, it doesn't even matter, okay? Trust me. If someone can't, you know, make of what you eat in a good sense or like just leave you alone about it, then you don't need to have them as a friend or, whatever. Same thing with veganism. If people deciding if that's okay or not with them, it doesn't have to be okay with them. It has to be okay with you. Okay, moving on. Family. Okay, so my family eats a SAD diet, which is an acronym for Standard American Diets. Okay, which is kind of ironic. If you haven't heard that, it's a really good thing to point out to people, but not being rude. Just it's just ironic. Anyways, uh, so with my family, they all eat junk food and random stuff like that, and chicken and beef and lots of steaks and stuff like that. I'm raised on a basic Texan diet, which is usually lots of meat and lots of unhealthy cooked foods and processed foods and junk food. And basically, I've been a vegan for 3 years, so when I started that, they were a little iffy about it. They were like, that's a little weird, but we think you're old enough, so that's okay. Basically, if you're going to tell your parents that you want to be a raw foodist, you need to explain to them very specifically why you would like to be a raw foodist and why it would be the healthiest choice for you. And if you need any help on that, just go look it up online. Not saying that everything online is logical or true, but, get some sites that you trust in and look at the benefits of raw foods. There's tons of them. Okay, so if you are having trouble eating with your family or at your house, you need to tell them after you've explained to them that you want to do raw foods that you need to buy groceries. You can't just eat their processed cooked foods anymore. And you need to buy produce and nuts and seeds, that type of thing. You know, everything else that comes with raw foods. You need to explain to them that instead of buying that processed foods for you, that they'll need to buy produce for you. And it usually will turn out that you need to go with them to buy that food because they're not going to know what you need. When buying produce, you want to go more on the organic side. Pesticides will not help you at all. And that's kind of a hard one to explain to your parents because they're like, well, why can't you buy this regular banana? And you're like, well, it has pesticides in it. And usually parents are like, okay, yeah, but this one costs like $2 less. Well, organic foods can be a little bit costly compared to the other ones, which doesn't make sense to me, but, you know, it's how our world is. And basically, you just need to tell them that you need to cleanse your body and you need to get rid of all that stuff that is building up in your colon or whatever. You know, you can get specific on them, but they probably won't know your terminology. But basically just say, I need to buy raw organic foods. And if they say, well, we can't really afford organic, which my parents pull on me all the time, you need to just say to them, well, okay, I understand where you're coming from, but it really wouldn't cost as much as me just buying regular processed foods because, you know, I pig out on that anyway, or whatever your excuse is. But, and if they definitely won't let you buy all organic foods, you need to try to get the foods that you do not get organic. It needs to be like fruits that have like really thick peels on them, like say oranges. That has a really thick peel, so when they like spray the pesticides and stuff, it doesn't get too much pesticides on it. Whereas like grapes, that has a really thin peel and it's going to take a toll more than an orange in your diet that's non-organic. Okay, so I hope I answered all your questions. I am the oldest in my family, and, well, not in my family, but from all the kids in my family, there's 4 kids in my family, and I basically just learned at a young age to, you know, get my own food and prepare my own food because I have a different diet. I've pretty much always had a different diet, but, you know, it does get difficult, but it's for your health, and you don't want to give up because it's for your health, and that really is what you need to base your judgment on. You know, what's healthy for you, and are you going to just sacrifice your health for eating, you know, the raw processed meat, whatever? I don't know, but you get my point. So I hope I answered your question good. And thank you for the question. And if anybody else would like to ask me any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. I just did this video because I really believe that it's a good question, and I wanted to answer on a video. So thanks guys, and please comment, rate, subscribe at the end of this video. I would be very happy. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.